Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today here we are at the boat doing another project for you to watch. And if you have a Jeanneau 795 or any other boat, you could do this. And one of the things we're going to do today is, as you can see right here, we have a cooler, Bodega cooler. And what this does, we connect it to 12 volts here on the boat, and it has a compressor, and it keeps stuff frozen and cooling. And it goes down all the way down to 4 degrees, minus 4 degrees. That is awesome. If you want to keep cold drinks in there, that's going to be one of the best things we're going to use. So we're going to try it out and see how it works out. So we're going to do the installation here. We're going to get power from the battery switch. So that way when we turn off the battery, we have no power on the cooler. And then we're going to run the wire from here to here, which we already did. So you can see right here. And run it through here and connect it to the house battery on that one right there. So stay tuned, because this is going to be something that every boat may want to have one day, because a cooler that cools itself and keeps things frozen is one of the biggest things you could have in a boat, especially in a sandbar. And if you're staying overnight, you don't need any ice or anything like that. You just need this cooler that's going to keep everything cold, ice cold, for a while. So stay tuned, and here we go. Alright guys, so we have everything ran, ready to hook up. We have the plug connectors here that goes to this thing right here, which is our plug. We're going to put that around there and make a little hole there and run the wires through there. And these are the wires that are going to go to there. Okay, from there it comes directly all the way from here and in there, and then we go up into the little panel here, which we have the battery switches. We're going to hook onto this one here, which is the house panel, the house battery. This is the engine battery. And then we're going to go ahead and connect it. You can see the other wire here coming out already with the ring there to connect on the back side of the switch. We have a fuse, inline fuse, and another little ring so we could connect inside the panel here. Now right in here is the connectors right there. And this one right there is the one we're going to connect to. The positive goes on this one here, and negative goes on the other side over there. And that's basically it. Once we do that connection there, we should have power going through all the way here to that little plug we're going to put right there. Okay, so we have the hole ready. Now we should be able to fit a little plug through there. That is perfect. And we're going to go ahead and seal it all the way around and mark the little 2 holes for the screws that go on there. Alright, perfect. Okay, right here we have a little plus sign for this one here, negative for this one. So the red one goes on this one here. We'll go ahead and connect that now. Red, positive, just to make sure. Okay, got one, and then negative, negative, negative. All right, double confirmed. There we go. And then you just connect this over like that. And same thing with the other one. You gotta make sure it's all the way in. I'm gonna go ahead and put some seal. In this case, we're using butyl tape, like before. And now we're gonna cut little pieces so we can put around there and plug up these holes and a little bit around here for weatherproofing. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just putting butyl tape all the way around. So when we put it there, it'll seal all the way around and not have water going in behind there. So now we're ready to go ahead and put it in place. Push it in. Now you should be able to line up the holes there and put the screw in. Okay, that's one of them. And the second one. Let's tighten it up now. Little by little. Remember, this is plastic, so you don't want to force it and break it. You just push it in. And the excess of the butyl tape, all you have to do is grab a sharp end like that and put it at the edge, and you're able to take off that piece clean. Do the same thing inside. All right, so we're all done there, and have the little cap, weatherproof cap, and it's nice and clean. Perfect. So we just finished tie wrapping the cable there, here, there, cable's under here and there, so everything is nice and neat. There's nothing thrown all over the place here. All right, so right here, this is the back of the battery switches. This is positive here, and this is the out, which is where we're going to connect the cables to. And then on this side we have the negative, so the negative wire goes here and the red positive wire goes here. So we're going to loosen up the bolt here, put the little clamp on there, and then put it back on again. Same thing with the negative. Okay, so we have the red one with the fuse in line. It's going to be on this one here. We're going to just go ahead and tighten that up. Alright, it's loose now. We'll take it off and slip this one in there. Okay, that is perfect. Put the nut back on, and that's it. Right now we should have power on the other end as soon as we turn the switch on the other side of this panel. we should have power for the cooler. So we're going to go ahead and check that first before we tighten everything up. And what we'll do is we'll come here. Turn on the panel. Okay, now everything is on. And as long as you didn't hear a big explosion or anything like that, everything should be fine. And in this case, it should be. We have the plug right there. And we're going to go ahead and move the Bodega cooler in that position over there so we can go ahead and hook it up. So let's move everything out of the way here. And here we have the Bodega manual. Tells you everything you need to know here. So I recommend that you go through like I did. I went through the whole thing, make sure you understand how everything operates, and you should be fine. Now here's the options that you have for power. You have this one here, which is the one we're going to use on the plug we put over there. This other end of it goes into the Bodega cooler. Okay, that's one option, 12 volt connection. And then the second option is a 110. You have here a transformer, I guess. You have the plug that goes to the Bodega cooler, and then this little plug here plugs into this, and then this side you can plug to the wall to 110 volt. That's the other option you have. But in this option here, I'm going to use this one here, which is the 12 volt connection. I'm going to go ahead and hook it up now. We're going to go ahead and hook it up to the cooler first. Okay, we heard a beep there. And we have power here. So it looks like we have the power. And we did turn on. Yeah, these are turned on. This one's turned off. So that's why we have power there. So that's good. And when we open this, we should have a little light inside there that turns on, and we do. A little light right there. And another light there. And yeah, you could feel the compressor is working. And here are the features of this cooler. This is the things that I like about this cooler. Number one, you can put everything inside there and have this basket and pull out whatever you need to pull out from there. You could take everything out all at once. Same thing with the freezer side. This side is the freezer, this side is the cooler. But the good thing about this is that you can change the temperatures on both sides and make it the same. If you want it cooler both sides, you could do that. If you want freezer both sides, you could also do that as well. Second thing that I like is this little thing right here. You open this thing here. Check out how cool this is. A cutting board already built in, which is really cool. And usually you have the space here to put it like right there. Has a little indentation there. 4 cup holders. They're a little bit too shallow for the boat. So if I had something here and the boat's moving, it's definitely going to move out of there and spill. But they should be a little bit deeper than that to be able to work for a boat. But so far, everything is working fine. To put this back, you just hook it on there. Bring this little thing up. And then bring it down. And it stays in place. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and leave it there for a little while. Let it sit. And check it out and see how cool it gets. And we're also going to use it at the sandbar, so it's going to be a continuing video from this point on with the Bodega cooler. On our next video out in the sandbar, we're going to go ahead and use it all day with no ice, and let's see how much battery draw from our boat it takes out. So let's check it out. And the good thing is that the batteries that this one is being fed from, it's coming from the solar panel. So solar panel is charging all day at the same time, and this is going to be drawing less than what's coming in, hopefully. So let's see how that works out. All right, so it's been around another 10 minutes. And yes, you could definitely feel it's cold in there now. Real difference. The other thing I like about this, you can unhook these two sides here and put the door on this side. So you can put the door on either side, there or here, depending on your usage, whatever is best for you. But this door can definitely be put on the other side if it needs to. All right, so right here, all right, so we started off with 89 degrees inside there. It's already saying 63 degrees, so it went pretty fast to 63 degrees, which is a good temperature already. And I think within the next few minutes it should go down to 30 something, which is what we want to have the cans in there, at least 38 degrees. Keep it nice and cold, so when we drink, we can have ice cold beer, sodas, water. It's gonna be awesome. And best of all, no ice. I like that. All right, it's really difficult to see here because we have so much sun today coming down, but the cooler side is at 67, the freezer at 55. And to be able to change these temperatures, this one is automatically on all the time. You can decrease or increase the temperature here. If you want to go to the freezer side, you have to press on, it says here to press the minus and then press the little setting here. Once you press that, this one will start blinking, and then you can change the temperature here with the plus and minus, and you set it to wherever temperature you want. I know it's difficult to see because I have glare, I have the sun hitting. I mean, it's just incredible here today. We do have a heat advisory again, and it is really scorching. So anyway, we're gonna give it a few more minutes with that bottled water in there and test it out because I'm really thirsty. So it'll come nice and handy if I can get some real cold water here right now with the super heat that we're having. Okay, another point of the Bodega cooler is noise, the compressor noise. I'll be honest with you, I have plenty of surrounding noise here, which is normal to the ear and nothing is bothering. And I can tell you, I cannot even hear it. It doesn't even sound. I don't know if you can hear it with the camera. Let's see it with the camera microphone. But to the normal ear, when you're standing like right here, it's really low. You can't almost hear anything at all. So it doesn't bother at all. It's not something that's going to be there intrusive and doesn't let you talk and things like that. But this is out of the way. This is it's perfect. The noise level is awesome. No problem. Okay, so it's almost been 2 hours since we start the cooler. It's now down to 39 degrees at the cooler side, and the freezer side it's down to 42 degrees. And the battery usage, I think I might have messed up earlier, but the battery that it says here, the forward battery, which is 96%, that's the one that the cooler is using. So in 2 hours it went down to 96%. The solar panel hasn't kicked in yet. I think it probably goes down to a certain point, and then it starts up charging the battery. The other battery, which is the aft battery, that's the engine battery. That's still at 100 because we're not using that one. But the forward battery is the one that we're using for the cooler. 96% in about 2 hours and maybe a few minutes. So we just got to see the usage. Another thing that I want to mention, this you can set to battery usage high, medium, and low. I have it on low. It's always good to be safe that if something happens and you go too low on the battery, this will sound an alarm. I think it's like a beep or something, and it cuts off. So that way it protects the battery to go any lower than where it's supposed to go. So it has that feature there that'll cut it off before the battery goes too low. Okay guys, so since last time we installed the refrigerator line on that battery there, We're going to take it off from there because we noticed that it was taking out too much power out of that one battery. And that one battery is the house battery that gives us power for lighting and all the other stuff on the boat. So I don't want to mess with that and have the refrigerator on all day and have that go down really, really low. And I noticed even though we had the solar panel pumping power into it, for some reason it didn't put in as much as it was taken out. So we're going to take it off from there, bring the cables back again, and hook them on to the lithium batteries. Lithium batteries we only use when we're going to use the air conditioning. That's it. So every time we go out to the sandbar, we never touch those. We never do anything with those. And the good thing is we do have a solar panel on those. And within the time that we put the solar panel install on them, it's been keeping at 100%. So we're going to do the refrigerator on there, our Bodega cooler, which is all 12-volt power, freezer and cooler, connected to the lithium batteries, which we don't use as much as we do the house battery there. So we're going to do that change now and try it out again and see if that works out better. Stay tuned. All right, so here we have the refrigerator connection, positive and negative. And what I'm doing here is I'm tying a little rope to it so I can feed it in there and leave it there in case in the future I need to run something from here down to the battery compartments. It's going to make it much easier because all we have to do is tie the next thing and pull it into it, and that way we have no problem. So that's why I'm going to leave this fishing line inside there, so that way we can run wires if we need to in the future. Makes it much more easier. All right, so we identified the wire that we need to pull back out. We're going to pull softly because we don't want to get tangled up and break a cable or something. So we just do it slowly. And if you need to check on this side and help it from this side, you may have to do that because you don't want to break something. Especially this one here has the a little fuse in line there, so we don't want to mess it up. So little by little you push in from here and you pull from this side here slowly until we get that coming through. All right, so we have everything on this side, and our connections for the lithium batteries are right here. So we're going to go ahead and connect it here and then tie wrap the wires out of the way so nothing is all loose in there. Keep it all safe. And then this little rope here, we're just going to tie it and leave it down here and inside the little, behind the panel there, in case we need to use it in the future and run it again. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and connect the positive to the positive side and negative to the negative side of the lithium battery. I will need two hands for this, so I will be right back right after I install them in there, and I'll show you that part afterwards. All right, we just connected both wires, negative and positive, for the refrigerator. And now we have that cable there that is loose because it's a little longer than what we needed now because we ran it up into that panel up there. But I'm just going to leave it the way it is and just tie wrap it back in there. And that's it. And then we go ahead and retry the cooler again, the Bodega cooler. We're going to go ahead and put it back in place there and connect it to the outlet that we installed recently there and try it out. So stay tuned for that part of the trial with the lithium batteries. All right, we just connected with the lithium batteries, the Bodega cooler. You probably won't be able to see it because we've got so much glare here now. But it says it's 86 on this one, 77 on the freezer side. And I have it set for about 34 degrees. And we're just going to give it time and I'll be right back within maybe 10-15 minutes to see how it's doing. And I did put inside a can and a bottle of water on this side and a couple of bottled waters on that side there, just to see if this is going to work out better. And at the same time, we need to be checking the battery status inside there in the panel, and we should be fine. I think with the lithium batteries, we're going to be much better because we're able to use it, since we don't use the lithium batteries almost never, except at nighttime when we need air conditioning. That's it. But let's go check the panel and see how it's doing now. All right, so here's the lithium battery panel. It's telling me it's at 99%. That's where we started, at 99%. Because I've noticed that it never goes to 100, but it's always at 99 since we put the solar panel on. Here I see red. Red means probably minus, and it's a minus right in front of it. Minus 4 amps. So it's drawing 4 amps at the moment. And the batteries are charging at 13.8 volts. And we have 99%. And this is the start. We just connected it. So let's see how it goes within the next 20 minutes. And then we'll go to an hour and check it time to time to see how the draw is doing. So far, it's okay. All right, guys, it's been 20 minutes since we started up. It's now saying 58 and 53. 58 and 53. So that's 58 in the cooler, 53 in the freezer. That's 20 minutes into it. Let's check in here. Yeah, it feels cold in there. Yeah, it feels pretty cold in there, but it's only been 20 minutes since we started, so it's still not enough. I believe you probably need about an hour for it to run before it gets really cold in there. So we're going to give it more time, and we'll be back in about an hour. It's been over 1 hour. I think it's closer to an hour and a half almost. Battery is still at 99%. It's drawing 2 amps, sometimes 3, like right now. But it always stays around 2. And sometimes it goes down to 1 amp. When it goes down to 1 amp, it gives me like about 12 days of battery usage. Still at 99, so the solar panel is bringing in power, and the cooler is taking out 3 amp at the moment. It still gives me 5 days. Okay, here goes. Went down to 2 amps, 5 days, 13 hours and a half. So that means if we stay where we're at, or we go anywhere, and we have that cooler on all the time, this battery will last 5 days plus. Now, if the battery with the solar charger stays at 99%, that means it's always going to stay at 5 days. So it's never going to go down. And I think we're okay. I think we're super good this time. So let's check and see how the drinks are inside the cooler here now. Okay, as far as I can see here, cooler side is 41. Freezer side is 41. All right, so let's check out, because I'm getting really thirsty because it's really hot here today. Really, really, really hot. Heat advisory and all. So let's grab one of these. What? Let me see. I want to get this one here. All right. Feels nice and cold. And I really need 2 hands for this, but I think we manage. Let's see here. I'm really thirsty, so I need to drink this regardless. It has been really, really hot, and it feels good. So here we go. It has now been a little bit over 4 hours since we started the test on the Bodega cooler. The panel here for the lithium batteries, it's telling me that it went down from 99% to 97%. That's only 2% and more than 4 hours of usage on the battery there. Now it's on green, 1 amp. That means it's coming in to the battery from the solar panel. So every time the cooler turns off, I'll get charge from the solar panel, and that helps it keep it up there at 97%. So that means In the time that we go to the sandbar, we spent there 8 to 9 hours. If it did 4+ hours with only 2% usage on the lithium battery, that means if we stay there double that time, it's only going to be 4%. And 4% from 99 that it was, it's going to be at 95% at the end of the day. So that means I get back to the marina with 95% lithium battery charged still. Now, that's not counting the sun. When it comes back up again, it's going to charge from the solar panel. And at that time, the cooler is not going to be on there. So it'll charge up the lithium batteries back up to 99%, which is really what I've seen. It doesn't go up to 100. I don't know why. I'm not an expert in lithium batteries or anything, but it always charges up to 99% and it stays there. So what it looks like with the cooler battery, lithium battery usage, we're good to go. I don't have to buy ice on the next one, which is going to be our next test. Is when we go back out to the sandbar and stay there all day with that cooler from the lithium batteries all day long and see how everything is kept in there. So that's our next test on the next video coming soon. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, don't forget to splash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you can subscribe down there, I will greatly appreciate it. It will help our channel grow, and your assistance in watching our videos helps us grow more and more each day. So thank you so much, guys, for being there for us. So here we go. Sandbar time coming up soon. We got to see those water bottles and that little can of coconut juice that I have here. I'm really needing it now again because it's still so hot here. It's incredible. So we're going to open up here and check it out. You bring the camera in there with you. And here's what we have. Now that is super cold. I'm guessing it could be at least a 30 something, and this one's a little bit more. That's the freezer side. So we're gonna get our can of coconut water and try it out. All right, so here we go. Yes, this is something you need. Let's check it out. Whew. Yes. Wow, that is cold. Yes, 30 something degrees. All right, guys, I'm going to give you my final thoughts of the Bodega cooler. At the beginning, when we started using it with the regular battery, the house battery we had here, it didn't go too good because it went down from 100% all the way down to 86, I believe. I have to check my notes, but I think it was 86. And it continued to go down. The more I had it on, it just continued going down and down. Now, when I connected to the lithium batteries, game changer, completely game changer. We had it at 99% when we started. Then it went down to 98 within 2 hours and a half or so. And then after 4 hours plus, it went down to 97 within over 4 hours of it being used. That's only 2% battery usage. And that 4 hours, if you do that times 2, which is mostly our day at the sandbar, is an 8-hour day, 9 hours. That's only 4% battery usage. So I'm really comfortable with that. I'm happy with it. I can use it all the time. And believe it or not, I don't have to be running for ice anymore. All we have to do is buy our stuff that we're going to eat and drink, and that's it. No ice, no problems. And the other thing is that the size, the space that you have in a cooler, even a regular cooler, when you put your stuff in there and you put the ice takes a lot of space in there. So you really have really limited space to put stuff in there. In this one, there's no ice. And this one, the TW45 has like 45 quarts. It's the size of the space that you have to store stuff in there. The other one that I had, the Igloo, was a little bit more bigger than that, but even though being bigger didn't mean more space, it meant more ice in there to cover the food. So it didn't work out as well. So now we save like $12 of ice every time we go to the sandbar, and we don't have to worry about batteries, because if it only went 4%, that's nothing. So we'll be fine with that. So those are my final thoughts. It works better on the lithium battery. If you have lithium, that's a good thing for you here. On the regular battery, it didn't work out as good. I mean, it's just me. Unless you have a dedicated battery just for your cooler, then fine, perfect. But otherwise, lithium battery will work much better. And those are my final thoughts on the Bodega coolers. And it's really an awesome product. It's well made. It has a lot of features in it. It helps the battery. If the battery really goes too low, it gives you an alarm, so the battery doesn't drain out completely and it stops, which is a good feature. But overall, I give the whole thing 100% my thumbs up on it, because it is a good product. We're going to test it on the sandbar, like I mentioned earlier, and then that's the time we're going to see how it really works out. So that'll be on another video coming pretty soon. Thank you so much, and I'll be back. Peace from the Keys.